The final moments of Fredo Corleone in The Godfather Part the Second are marked by tension and sadness, encapsulating the tragic fate of a character who sought acceptance but committed unforgivable mistakes. Fredo is taken by Al Neri to fish on Lake Tahoe, an activity Fredo enjoyed and associated with childhood memories. But is there a hidden secret behind this? Stay until the end as we explore this scene together. It all began after Fredo betrayed the Corleone family by collaborating, albeit unintentionally, with Hyman Roth, providing confidential information to Johnny Ola, which resulted in the attempted assassination of Michael in his own room. Initially, Michael suspects there is a traitor within his close circle after the assassination attempt at his home, orchestrated by Hyman Roth and his allies. His investigations begin to point toward Fredo, but the confirmation comes in a crucial moment. Michael, in Cuba, is at a party with Fredo and other associates, including Hyman Roth and Johnny Ola. During the celebration, Fredo lets slip that he has known Johnny Ola longer than he had previously admitted. He casually mentions that Johnny had shown him a club in Havana, something that contradicts his earlier claim of never having had direct contact with Roth or his men. This subtle slip-up is immediately noticed by Michael, who exchanges a cold, penetrating look with Fredo, realizing the extent of his betrayal. From that moment on, Michael keeps the discovery to himself, but his attitude changes completely. He maintains a calm facade, but the decision to punish Fredo is already made. The following scene, where Michael kisses him and delivers the iconic line, "I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart," marks the definitive rupture between the two brothers. After Fredo's betrayal is discovered, Michael calls him for a conversation at Lake Tahoe. It is in this moment that Fredo's feelings of inferiority and frustration come to the surface. Visibly shaken, Fredo finally admits to helping Hyman Roth and Johnny Ola, but insists he didn't know it would result in an assassination attempt against Michael. He explains that his main motivation was the resentment that had built up over the years. As the older brother, Fredo had expected to occupy a position of greater respect and influence within the family, but he constantly felt overshadowed by Michael, the younger brother, and always did everything better. He vents saying, "I'm the older brother, I should be respected, but I've always been sidelined, never given my chance." This emotional outburst reveals the complexity of Fredo's character. He is deeply insecure, craving attention and desperate for recognition, but also naive and vulnerable, traits that Hyman Roth exploited to manipulate him. Fredo wasn't trying to destroy Michael. He simply felt the need to assert himself somehow, even if it meant going behind the family's back. Michael, however, remains cold and impassive during the confrontation. He understands Fredo's feelings, but the betrayal is unforgivable, as it endangered his life and the stability of the Corleone family. This scene not only exposes Fredo's fragility, but also emphasizes Michael's transformation into a leader incapable of separating family ties from his need for absolute control. From this point on, the relationship between the brothers becomes irreparable, culminating in Fredo's execution later in the film. Carmela Corleone's funeral is a moment laden with symbolism and tension, especially during Michael and Fredo's reunion. After the death of the matriarch, the last figure maintaining some emotional bond in the family, Michael stages a reconciliation with Fredo. While Fredo, vulnerable and emotional, believes he has finally earned his younger brother's forgiveness, Michael embraces him. However, this gesture is not a sign of genuine forgiveness, but a cold and calculated farewell. Michael's embrace symbolizes an outward acceptance of family ties, but also a definitive goodbye, as he has already decided Fredo cannot live after his betrayal. Shortly after, Michael makes eye contact with Al Neri, his loyal enforcer. Without words, only with a firm and sorrowful gaze, Michael communicates the order for Neri to eliminate Fredo. Al Neri immediately understands the weight of this command and the silent pain it carries. He doesn't question the order, but clearly feels its moral and emotional burden. He knows this isn't just about eliminating a traitor, it's Michael's brother, someone who, despite his flaws, was still family. This moment is especially impactful because it underscores the emotional sacrifice Michael is willing to make for the sake of his power and the security of his organization. He shows no hesitation or external remorse, but it's evident that this decision isolates him further, both emotionally and spiritually. The funeral, therefore, marks not only the end of his mother, but also the last trace of familial compassion Michael might have had. In Fredo Corleone's final moments, there is a symbolic depth that goes beyond the physical act of his death. Fredo, always a vulnerable and naive character, is about to go fishing on Lake Tahoe with Al Neri. While he appears calm and distracted, there are subtle signs that on some level, Fredo knows his end is near. His choice to pray the Hail Mary while fishing doesn't seem to be just an attempt to attract fish, but a deeper gesture of seeking redemption. The Hail Mary prayer, traditionally associated with repentance and divine protection, reflects Fredo's state of mind. He is trying to atone for his sins and find some spiritual solace. It's as if, deep down, he understands that his betrayal of Michael cannot be forgiven and that his life is nearing its end. In this moment, Fredo seeks a connection with something greater, a final chance to reconcile with his conscience and with God. However, his death occurs at a critical moment during the prayer. Before he can finish it, Al Neri executes him with a gunshot, cutting off his plea. This detail carries powerful symbolism. Fredo tries to seek redemption, but it's too late. The weight of his sins and the inevitability of his betrayal have already sealed his fate, both in the world of the living and in the spiritual realm. The scene is devastating, not only for the act itself, but for the silence that surrounds it. It's a reflection of Michael's ruthlessness, sacrificing his brother in the name of the family's security and power. It's also a commentary on how, in the Godfather universe, past actions are inescapable, and the search for redemption can be cut short by harsh reality. Fredo's fate symbolizes the psychological and emotional cost of being involved with the mafia. He sought respect but found rejection. He desired power but was used as a pawn. His death on Lake Tahoe perfectly exemplifies how the criminal underworld offers no honorable exits, only inevitable tragedies. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe and leave a like. Thank you very much.